Nightmare in Sarajevo. It was the summer of 1985, the end of an annoying 6-week tour of Europe with my future former spouse, George. Our guide was Europe on $5 a Day, a book that travelers had been using since 1957. On this leg of our journey, we drove from Italy to Yugoslavia, now known as Bosnia and Herzegovina, on a winding inland road flanked by homes converted into cafes. All displayed pigs on spits roasting in the front yard. Buckets of warm Coca-Colas with water trickling from an overhanging hose gave the illusion of cool, refreshing beverages. It was hot. The air was still and lousy with smoke from the fire pits. Imagine all your neighbors grilling fatty meats at the same time. There was no air conditioning in our rental. We drove with the windows down. After a couple of nauseating hours on the road, we stopped for lunch at one of the home cafes. If memory serves me, we had a choice of pork sandwiches or hunks of hog with potatoes. I chose the sandwich with a warm water chilled Coke. Not the best meal for my vegetarian-loving digestive tract. We arrived in Sarajevo at 8 p.m. Too late to check out the cheap pensions for room availability. One didn't make reservations when one traveled on the cheap. George's Bible, Europe on $5 a Day, in case you forgot, cautioned against arriving at a new location after dark. We were too late for that. So here we were in Sarajevo, in the dark, with limited funds and no reservations. The prospect of staying in one of those brown, boxy, Lego-like skyscraper hotels was depressing. By the way, they were just as sad in the daylight. We drove from hotel to hotel. After each inquiry, George said, "Too expensive." At about 9 p.m., I whined, "I'm tired. Let's pull over and sleep in the car." Magically, at that point, we saw an odd little fellow in the road, jumping up and down, waving his arms and yelling, "I have room! I have room!" My gut yelled, "Don't do it!" But we were desperate. Perhaps he had a room for rent in his house. We followed the man. His rooms were 6 one-bedroom shacks in his backyard, with a separate communal bathroom down a cobblestone walkway. The outside of the huts looked acceptable. Our beds seemed okay. We dropped our bags and fell in exhausted. Then my senses kicked in. The sheets were damp and fragrant. I wanted to scream and run away. I was trapped. I closed my eyes and begged for the escape of sleep. But whenever I dozed off, I dreamed of cockroaches blanketing my body. This nightmare jolted me awake. Each time I thought, "Thank goodness it was only a nightmare," followed by, "Wait, my life is a nightmare." I alternated between dream bugs and wide-awake nausea. A little before dawn, George went to the bathroom down the walkway. When he finished, he could not open the door. He was locked in the shit shack. Hell for normal people, a terror for claustrophobics. I could hear him bang on the door and hard whisper, "Peg, let me out! Let me out! Please, Peg, let me out!" I eventually set him free. But I shuffled. I sauntered. I ambled very, very slowly.